maybe there. You prepared?
No.
No, well, it's already live. So it's a bit late for that. This guy behind's already been distracting you.
I know.
You've already made the... Sorry, I'm kicking the wires. That lapel thing's not working out right there.
No better.
Very nice. Folding it over, very nice. You've already made the weakest tea in existence.
I know.
I've just noticed.
I know, it's the whole no milk thing.
The thing that got... Now it's not true, because Lucille's podcast that just went on has got the most feedback out of anything that I've done. But before that, the thing that got the most feedback that I did was make tea incorrectly on camera. Because when I make tea, I like to put the sweeteners and the milk into the teapot. And
That is
then
weird.
People say this, I don't know why. I just like to make the full tea, and then it's ready. And then I just pour it out ad libitum, as and when I prefer.
Do you take the tea bag out of the teapot?
No.
You see, if you took the tea bag out of the teapot, then I would say you are... So it doesn't stew, and that would make sense.
What if then I took the tea bag out and then I just take the lid off and just drink it straight from the teapot? Then what?
Make you crazy.
So it's a good job you didn't make that on camera, otherwise you'd probably get kicked out of Yorkshire for the strength of that tea. I'm on coffee this time, and they've not given me enough sweetness. Two's not enough. Thank you for coming down to talk to me.
You're welcome.
Zoe Temperton.
Welcome.
You have finished our fat loss program,
Hey.
haven't you? You're still trucking along,
Yeah, well.
but
Now I know how. I think I might carry on, but I'm where I've set myself a goal and I've hit it.
and it's been a big week for you, hasn't it?
It's an epic week.
It's been a massive week, hasn't it? You've
Yes.
lost 3 stone,
Yes.
and you've been sober, no alcohol,
For 6 months.
6 months this week as well.
Yeah.
You've made massive changes. You're also vegetarian now.
I am.
Yeah. You tried veganuary.
Well, I
was it?
did Veganuary for January.
Yeah, and
But that was I'd only been vegetarian since the last week of November.
Yeah.
So to go vegetarian straight to vegan was like,
it's harsh, isn't it?
there's a lot of stuff to learn.
Well,
I'm a bit more forgiving of myself now, and I'm making lots of vegan choices, hence no milk in my tea.
I know I'm letting the team down. I'm sorry, I've just milked for the coffee. I should have at least got oat milk or something, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you
Come
should.
on. Everywhere charges more for oat milk though.
That's rude, but I don't think they will forever. It's just
No, they
while
won't
it's
forever, you're right.
new.
If you want soya as well, some places charge more as well, don't they? Like, they'll give me that milk free with the tea.
Yeah.
But it's more in some places for, like, you have to pay 50p extra. Come on.
Yeah, but I get it, because they're thinking if no one else asks for it, then we've opened this bottle and it's going to go off. And it's expensive.
I suppose.
But when it becomes more, the more people do it, which I think is so much more like now than it ever has been. You just have to look at the shelf and see how many options there are.
You're
It's
exactly
only
right.
a matter of time.
And
it becomes normal.
You're exactly right. You said there's a lot to learn about. There's a lot to learn about food in general. But then when you start making restrictive choices and then going on to, I don't know if it's more extreme, but it kind of is, because the less variety you've got, kind of the harder it makes it, doesn't it? Which is why vegan's more extreme than vegetarianism.
Yeah.
Because there's less choices, so it's harder. You've learnt a lot though, and
I know.
you still come down to the group meetings and stuff like this and teach everyone. At the last group meeting, I didn't really
say much.
I didn't say anything for ages.
Not even sure you needed to be there.
I like being there.
I
like
know.
to see you.
It was interesting though, but
somebody's got to hold the reins.
we just kept looking at you going, that's right, isn't it, Connor? Yes, yep. Lucille, you're right. Zoe, you're right.
One of the things I try and do is I don't ever pretend that I'm in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's me and a group of women.
And some men.
Some men sometimes, which is why I like it when they come down to the group meetings.
Mr. Jepson's been there a few times.
Yeah, he has. Edward's come down. Craig's come down as well a few times. There's been more people as well. Rob came down a few times.
Different perspective into it. So I like it when there's more men turn up on a Sunday.
That's a nice thing to say. It's a female-centred thing, but not massively by choice. It's mostly because in this country, 75% of everybody who accepts help for weight loss or exercise help like personal training or something like that is female.
Yeah.
75% of everybody's female to start with. It's because, in my opinion, you tell me what you think, I think it's because men have got too large of an ego most of the time. For a man to come to another man and say, excuse me, I don't know as much as you, can you help? The amount of men that will do this is low. Most men won't even read the instructions in an IKEA box. Never mind come to another man and then follow a full educational cycle around. Can you imagine? On our program. Most men have got too large egos for this, which is why I had a too large ego for this, which is why I congratulate the people massively, the men who join our program, because they're doing something fantastic, trying to better themselves. The only reason I'm in this situation is because I had too large of an ego to go and ask anybody else. So I thought I can figure all this stuff out on my own. And I can. But it'll take 10 years.
It's just more efficient for us now. You can just tell us.
Yeah, essentially. And you've been pretty much the entire way around our educational cycle.
I've been several times around it.
Yeah, and like I was saying when we were at the group meeting on Sunday, your ability to coach people has become insane. I said it on the video on the inside the private group this morning. That
Did you?
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
did.
haven't
I'm
seen
talking
it.
about you behind your back.
Oh my word.
I said I hope you quit your job and one day do what I do because you've become.
A little bit want to.
But you've become phenomenal. Like we were saying at the meeting, I was there, I'm supposed to give a lecture, but secretly I wasn't really going to give a lecture. It's not about that. It's about the meeting and the community and people chatting back and forth and stuff. And then a lady had a problem, didn't she? So people were helping with this problem. And you were helping a lot. And I remember you were sat there, she was sat over there. And I was sat here, so it was like a triangle actually, and she was sat there. It was exactly the situation like it is now. And I'm just sort of sat there, and you're giving her advice, and then looking at me and saying, that's right, isn't it? And I'm like, that's exactly right. And then you just carry on. And you're like, no, giving her the advice on what she should do. And you're like, the calculation's this, isn't it? I'm like, yep, it's exactly that. And I'm just like, okay, I'm minding my own business. And it was amazing, which is what we try and do on the program, empower people, give it back to you. And now you've come to spread it round a little bit.
I know, and that is why I have manned up a little bit to come and do this podcast.
Overied up.
Overied up.
That thing's rotating again.
Sorry.
I don't know if it even makes any difference.
Who knows?
I honestly don't know if it makes any difference. You can't just hold that in that position the entire time.
Yeah,
that's going to be so
It's
awkward.
a great look.
That's going to be so awkward.
Is that working? Yeah, I feel it's really interesting because when I started, I was so excited, and I was telling everybody I met about all this new information that I can't believe you don't learn when you're in school.
Yeah.
And nobody was listening to me. And then I had a penny drop moment. Actually, until you've done it, then people aren't really prepared to listen to you. Whereas now, people ask me to tell them how I've done it. And it was hard waiting until that moment when you've got this much information and 3 weeks in, I'd watched every video and I could explain it to anybody.
Yep.
But nobody saw me as anybody credible to be able to say it.
I understand.
So now it's really interesting.
Oh my Lord.
When I go to head office, I have to add in extra time because I really enjoy just seeing how people are doing.
That is amazing.
Answering questions.
I actually received a message from somebody who works with you who hasn't joined the program today, saying she's doing absolutely amazing. She's lost half a stone. I came to your workplace and did a lecture. She listened. She enjoyed it. She sent me a message straight after saying, just basic, did I get this right on the lecture? Da-da-da-da-da. Yes, she did. She's been following it, she's lost weight, she's now having the exact same thing you're having. She messaged me literally this morning saying that one of her friends is using Slimming World and struggling really bad. Not feeling good about it. She's doing that thing where people follow the program but they're probably eating a little bit too much due to the unlimited quantity of it. And then she's doing the starvation, dehydration thing before the weigh-in. You know what I mean?
Genius.
So she's having like a soup for breakfast and then wearing a bin liner or something, and then going and getting weighed in at Slimming World, and it's just not really going well. So then the lady from your workplace sent me a message saying, oh my Lord, I've been following your advice. I never thought it'd be this easy to do this, and I've been trying to spread the word and tell people. I've been trying to tell my friend who's using Slimming World that it doesn't have to be that hard for her. She doesn't have to follow all these rules. She doesn't have to have this rule book. She doesn't have to go to this place and get weighed in public. It can be much easier, but her friend's not listening. And I said to her the exact same thing you've just said, which is amazing because everything's clear in hindsight, isn't it? When you look back, everything's 20/20 vision, and then it all makes sense then. I said to this lady, literally, it's like the old adage of lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can't even make people drink. I can't even get people to do it. And it's my job. I'm a professional get people to doer. I'm a professional at getting people to do things that they perceive as hard and breaking it down for them. And I still can't. People have to be ready themselves. As you'll know, somebody who's gone through it, so people have to be ready and they have to walk themselves down it. If I, or you, or the lady at your work try and drag someone kicking and screaming down the path, that's fine while ever I'm dragging them, but how many people am I supposed to drag down this path? I'm trying to drag myself down the path. It's hard for me too. People think it's easy for me for some reason to not order cakes over there. They've got cruffins. It's like, what is that? A muffin and a croissant mixed together. We're in Willy Wonka's Wonderland.
That sounds wrong.
We're in Willy Wonka's Wonderland 24/7. Have you seen the Easter eggs that are coming out?
I'm not looking at Easter eggs, Connor.
I've taught you well. Stay away from the Easter eggs. I've been looking. Aldi have got a green one with a gecko on the side of it. And I'm like, how is that even chocolate? Don't go into Marks and Spencer's.
Waitrose got one the shape of an avocado.
They're just wizards. They're just wizards nowadays. This is what we've got to...
Yeah, but when you look on the calories, you go... If you break into an Easter egg, you're going to eat it all.
You're going to eat the entire thing.
And when you look at the calories, and they do the calories ridiculous, like you have to do the multiplication, you have to work out that it's 800 grams, and 8 times what it says.
You have to have at least a B in GCSE maths to figure out the calories.
Yeah.
Sometimes
they're thousands, and it's like...
For the Easter eggs, they are. I'm going to get one, and I'm not going to look. I'm going to eat it anyway. I'm going to eat it anyway. I hope everyone does, because we preach balance.
I know.
So I'm going to have one Easter egg per year, and I'm not going to mind. But it's dangerous, isn't it? Anyway, vegan Easter eggs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even...
Vegan chocolate, I'm a bit... It's so... It's hard. This is, like, for me, the harder part of going vegan is giving up milk was easy. Giving up stuff that milk is in is totally different.
Cheese is the one for you, isn't it?
Cheese, chocolate, cake.
I like vegan chocolate. I think it's nice. I've tried many vegan chocolates.
I've tried some which are really nice, and I've tried some which are really hideous. To be fair, chocolate's not a massive thing. I'm more likely to have crisps than chocolate.
You can get vegan crisps, can't you?
Loads of crisps are vegan. Loads of chicken flavoured crisps are vegan. Bacon
Frazzles.
Bacon Frazzles.
Frazzles are vegan, aren't they?
That's
it's not
ridiculous.
Even. I think it's good because it's better if they don't put animals into it.
Why? There's no need, is there?
There's no need, is there? Like we were saying again at the meeting on Sunday, the choices are getting so good now. Like I went into Starbucks and got a little treat thing. It was like a little vegan almond bar thing. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was exactly the same as a normal one.
Yeah.
There's so many options now. It's kind of unnecessary, isn't it, for that to have to be in there?
I'm just loving that all food producers are on the bandwagon, because it just makes it easier. You know, for me, I had my eyes opened when I went to Australia, which is how I turned vegetarian. And it's because I was there with my auntie, who's kind of like 25-year vegetarian, and my cousin and girlfriend who were vegan. And there was me, and I thought, you know what, you can't eat meat
in front of all these people.
When you're living with kind of vegetarians and vegans. So I just embraced it.
Yeah.
And we were eating food, and I'm going, really? There's no meat in that? And it absolutely blew my mind. Now in Melbourne, it's super easy.
Is it?
It's so easy to be vegan in Melbourne.
Is Australia as magical as English dreams would have us believe?
I think it really is.
Is it? Come on, don't tell me this.
And Melbourne is like 4 seasons in one day. I'm sure that's where that phrase comes from, because you can walk out in the morning in a vest top and 5 minutes down the road it's raining, and then it's really windy, and then it's scorching hot again, and you're just like going, I don't know what to wear. Do I take an umbrella and a vest top and then
you have
and
to
some
pack a
wellies?
bag for every eventuality.
Yeah, it's very British summertime. Every day it's very interchanging. But it's such a very different and cool lifestyle. But it was really funny though, because I'm like, oh my god, is every restaurant like super well catered for vegans? Yeah. It's not. It's just if you're hanging out with vegans, they only take you to their restaurants, don't they?
Yeah, they take you to the buyer's place.
But it was really interesting because my auntie is from Sheffield, and she's like, yeah, but you know, you don't know what it's like in Sheffield. It's not as easy, because she's been vegetarian forever. And then we come back and we realise that actually when you start searching vegan instead of vegetarian, there are so many more options.
There's getting more and more
And there
every
are
day.
so many places opening, and it's just like, it was really nice of them to do it just for me, turning vegetarian. I'm like, just open loads of choice.
And you just carried it on afterwards?
Carried it on afterwards.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not going back.
We're at Kelham Island now in the Gatehouse Cafe. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Make No Bones. Down there.
I went there this week.
Phenomenal, isn't it? Phenomenal. Isn't it called the Temple of Fun?
Yes.
I went in.
Church.
I went in. I was like this, looking around, thinking,
It's the craziest.
where have we
craziest
come?
bar
This
ever.
is the Temple of Fun. I know. There were expensive gin of like 10,000 varieties. I don't know how I would know that, Zoe. I don't know. You would have no idea about any of this. I'm
aware. I'm still aware.
I ordered nachos.
The loaded nachos thing. I've seen
Came
them,
like
I've not ate.
that big. I ate like 4 and was like, no, there's no way I'm getting through this. The chips were massive. It was like.
I had a chicken burger. You can't even tell it's not chicken. I like challenge people. Go down there, try a chicken burger, and tell me that don't taste like chicken.
Perfect. Yeah.
I just think they've improved like so much.
They have.
And we do it a lot in the group, don't we? Where I tell people, try this. It's amazing. It tastes like meat. Because I don't have a problem with the taste or the texture of meat. I just don't want to eat the animal.
Yeah, I
and
understand.
the bit that amazes me is that products now exist that taste and have the texture. So Make No Bones, Jane had a was it doner kebab? Oh, I wish I had that.
Really?
It was amazing.
Really?
Even better than that kebab meat I'm always harping on about from Tesco.
Yeah, because I would.
amazing.
I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian,
Yeah.
but I don't eat processed shitty meat. I'm not. I've never eaten doner kebab in my entire life, and never
Do not
will.
think that's a bad thing.
You could not give it me in 50 quid. I'll say no. Get that. I do not. No. I've never eaten a hot dog. I'm not eating a hot dog. Okay, I don't know what this is. So to me,
I do now. And you've made a good choice.
I try not to eat miscellaneous things. I don't like to eat things if I'm not sure what it is. Do you know how long it took me to try Chinese food? Just like, I know. As you described to me the contents of a spring roll. No one can. No one can. Who knows what they're putting in there back there? Who knows?
I don't know.
So I start to get like, whoa, and I don't really know what it is. So to me, I could eat that, the fake one.
Yeah.
But I would never eat the
Real
normal
one.
So let me ask you another question then, which
Yeah.
you may or may not have thought about this. So you do vegan/vegetarian. I really like, this is not the question, but I really liked what you said at the meeting as well about flexitarian.
Oh yeah.
And did you mean 1 meat-free day per week?
I would love if everybody had 1 meat-free day per week.
I agree, and that would make a massive difference. That's not what I meant though.
We would offset all like carbon emissions of cars if we did that as a world.
Well,
that's pretty.
we'll talk about that in a
staggering.
second when I go back to what I'm actually wanting to talk to you about. But what triggered in my head when you said flexitarian was just like eat whatever you feels like right, whatever's right for you.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I like about what you do as well is you promote to yourself and within our group and stuff like that all these plant-based things and making different choices, but you're not zealot on it. You don't ram it in people's faces, and you're not making people feel bad if they don't do it. You're just showing here's another option.
I just get really excited, a bit like when I started the diet. I'm really excited because I'm discovering stuff.
That's
I'm going, this tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Just try it, and and tell me what you think, because I think people are nervous of trying stuff, and I understand it because we have these set meals, and when you try something new, if you don't like it, you're like, but that's my tea.
Yeah.
So you kind of want someone to recommend it, and really, when you're going plant-based and it's a meat alternative, if you've never tried something like a Beyond Burger, which I think it's the closest to a beef
That's a brand,
burger.
is it?
Yes.
Super available in supermarkets.
Only Tesco so far.
Okay.
But it actually, for most vegetarians, it freaks them out because if they've frozen it and they defrost it, they kind of get like a little pool of blood on the plate.
Yeah. Blood, like it's not real blood.
It's not blood and it's not beetroot,
Yeah.
but it looks like real meat.
Yeah.
And apparently, according to them, something like 50% of their sales go to meat eaters. So that's when we're getting really good, but they're really expensive. It's like a $5 for two. You're not
'cause
going to
it's
try
new though,
it
isn't it?
unless somebody said.
That's nice.
That's actually nice.
Price will come down though.
It will.
And then that's what triggered in my head as flexitarian, and that's what I wish everybody did. Just make the best choices you can that are right for you at the situation you're in. Without, like you said, like you're mostly vegan, but don't really put too much pressure on yourself. Like
No.
so you're not beating you do what you can without beating yourself up and making yourself feel like crap if it's awkward sometimes, and if you want to enjoy life a little bit or enjoy something a little bit different.
I think
Isn't it?
I don't want my choices to be impacting other people.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to make, like, when you go out, like if you say you have a works do and there's the vegetarian option or the vegan option, well, sometimes they're not very good at catering. But so they're used to doing a vegetarian option. When you ask them to go to the next level, to vegan, then I've been offered some very weird things, and I'm like, it's okay, I'll have vegetarian.
Yeah.
It's fine. I associate myself still as being a vegetarian who will just make better choices. So like cutting certain things out, which is good, because actually that helps me with calorie control as well, because
Absolutely.
veganism, like, you remember the day that I was stuck in service station? I'd have gone crazy if I weren't on a diet and I weren't vegetarian vegan, because all there was to eat was high fat, bad food. And when I was looking at what options were available at the time, there weren't that many options. So I didn't eat anywhere near as much as I would have done stuck in service stations for 8 hours, 3 different service stations.
Completely agree. If you're a vegan, it's getting better and better, but there's a small possibility you might starve to death. Like the amount of like.
You won't starve,
the
but
amount
you'll
of-
have had a really unusual
No, you'll just be stood
meal.
holding a raw broccoli, just crying,
To be
just
fair,
not knowing what to do with
that
it.
day I ate chips and gravy, and that was what was. There was something else super random, and I was just like, do you know what? The chips are fine and the gravy's fine. I'll have that. But I would have had a dirty KFC had
Yeah.
I not been making that choice, and that would probably be the difference between 400 calories and 1,200 calories.
That's exactly
That's
the
helping
game,
me
isn't it? It does. It increases dietary quality, basically, which is the main way that it helps people to lose weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a good idea. I like the idea of more people trying to get more plants into their diet. It's always good. Like we teach on the program, there's a healthy eating section, isn't there, about
Yeah.
dietary quality. And we say every good diet's a plant-based diet. Well, we don't say that. Everybody who knows what they're talking about says that. Every good diet should be 80% or more plants.
Yep.
Always. It should be nearly all plants all the time. Anyway, what I was going to ask you about then is, because you said you like the taste of meat.
Yep.
You're not against the texture of meat or anything like this, but you don't want to eat the animal.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the future of food, which is that veganism is not going to win? It's impossible. There's no way that the entire earth can go plant only, pretty much, unless dramatic things change and we create some crazy new form of agriculture and we start growing things in the sky out of or on water with some kind of new substrate, and we make new fertilizers that can just magically make all these plants grow from somewhere. There's no chance, because there's no soil left on earth. We've killed all the soil. We've smashed through it all, basically.
Is this your prediction for the future? Or
No, this is not my prediction. This is the actual
This is
truth.
the truth.
Yeah, if you go on, do you know what TED Talks is?
Yeah.
Technology,
TED Talks.
Education and Development. If you go back a few years and you look at, I think it was maybe 2013 or 14, or something like this.
Yeah.
The number one thing spoke about most at TED that year was soil erosion.
Yeah.
And that sounds boring. But really what it is, it's that when you grow something in a field and then the plant absorbs the nutrients, then what? In old times they used to do fallow fields, didn't they? And they'd do rotational farming.
Yep.
And they'd leave a field with nothing in for a year or two. Weeds grow on it, and then bugs come to feed on the weeds, don't they? And then birds come to eat the bugs, and then foxes come to eat the birds, and then the birds die on it, and the foxes die on it, and the bugs die on it, and then all that cycle of life goes back into the soil, and then when you plant something on it, it absorbs it again.
Yep.
And then the farmers think, fuck that. They think we've got 3 fields, right, and we're going to make
Wicked.
100 grand out of each, and I'm leaving one blank? No. So they don't do that. So they just smash it again and again and again and again and again, and then when the field's rubbish, they just move on to a new one and sell it off to somebody else, and maybe don't say shit about it. This to the point where My dad's a lorry driver. He's the lorry driving company also own farms. On those farms, it's in Yorkshire, they can't grow anything ever except white potatoes. Not everything else that's planted dies.
Yeah.
Because they've just
the soil
smashed
quality.
the soil that much and just absolutely just absorbed all the nutrients from it that only a carbohydrate starch bulb will grow. That's what a potato is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can put fertilizers back onto it, but that's not really the way it works because they only put nitrogen, vitamin K and phosphorus or something like that on it, and it's like, okay, what about everything else? And what about all the rest of the vitamins and minerals? What about all the other antioxidants and all the other stuff that's in plants and in food that we don't even know what it does yet? We've not even discovered it. None of that's there. So the farmers grow things, they put insecticides on it, don't they? So no insects come. They put herbicides on it, so no weeds grow on it. If no insects and weeds come, no birds come, that means no foxes come, that means nothing dies on it. So there's no nitrogen life cycle running on the field. The plants absorb it. After 3 or 4 cycles of this, it's just dead. To the point where in America there used to be 20 feet of like topsoil or something like this, you know, if you wanted to like dig foundations on a house or something like that, and now in most places there's like 6 or 2, and this has been in like the last 100 years.
Yeah.
In another 50 years there's basically no good farming soil left on the entire planet, and there's no way to get it back. They put fertilizers onto it and stuff like this, and then what? The rain comes, and then they try, like even in this country, they put fields on a slant, and then they get farmers to plough it sideways so that the water doesn't run off, but it still does. It just rains, or they just like spray it or something, and it all runs off the field. All the nutrients go down into the river, the fertilizers do. That goes into the ocean, causes the freaking coral reefs to die, and it's like, it's just,
Quite scary.
there's too many people on Earth. That's the thing.
But also you need to factor in. There's a really good documentary called Cowspiracy. You watch that?
Yeah, I know.
So that's obviously talking about how much animal agriculture is impacting.
Even worse.
Is impacting
Even worse.
everything. And that's just so that we can have the burger.
Even worse, I agree. So, sorry, I've only gotten halfway through the rant.
Make more tea.
Basically, I started going off on one, I'm sorry, about farming. It's basically that plant farming kills the earth and animal farming kills the animals. So you can't win. It's like, which of the evils do you prefer? So it's not really likely that we can continue. We can't really just continue farming the way we farm now. So we have to make, it's either something new has to be invented, because all the soil is running off into the ocean and it never comes back. It takes thousands of years to get it to come back. We ain't got time for that. So we have to invent new agriculture, or something has to change. Factory farming is also dead very soon. It is going down the pan. There's no way it's sustainable. It's killing the earth, like you said. It's freaking awful. It's deplorable. It'll be a thing.
People have found out what it is.
In my opinion, it will be a thing that we look back on in the past like slavery.
I agree.
And we'll think,
mortified that we pretended.
we'll think we did what? Sorry, we did what?
I watched. There was a TED talk by Earthling Ed that got released this week. Brilliant TED talk, and he calls it the ostrich theory, where we've all got our head in the sand and we're pretending that you know when you drive down the motorway and you see the cows grazing in the fields, and we all pretend that's where all cows come from that we eat.
Sure.
And it's not that. The big factories, which you don't know what they do inside those factories, are just pens after pens after pens of animals that have had their teeth pulled out and their tails docked, and they're trying to eat each other because they're going crazy.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's your burger. Did you really need your burger that much?
It's
I just didn't know it existed. I feel like naive and stupid. Like it took.
Yeah, because companies hide it. Until recently.
They spend millions hiding it.
Yeah, they do. That's true. So I agree completely. I agree.
But what's the thing is with the answer to that is, for now the answer is vegan and vegetarianism.
It's helping.
Because if our demand for animals can reduce,
And
it's not going to happen overnight.
That's the only thing, you're right. The only thing is if the demand reduces, then the companies will stop making the produce because they only care about money. They don't give a shit about you, they don't give a shit about me, they don't care about the planet, they don't care about the animals, they care about the cash.
Yes.
And if more people buy plants and less people buy the animal products, then
they'll put more effort into
they
the
won't
plants.
care. They won't care. They won't even
They'll
care
still make
about
money. We're not putting them out of business.
They'll say, oh, the money's over there.
They'll
okay,
grow plants.
And they'll just follow the cash. They don't care about anything else. So you're right, it's supply and demand, and consumers determine the market.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is
definitely.
worrying about the soil though, because I think we're already too far on that particular
we're already too
problem.
far with too many people, which is the issue. There's too many humans on Earth. It's not working feeding everyone with plants, and it's not working feeding everyone with animals. It's not really working either way.
So are you going to go? Is it like some
I know what the next
laboratory?
Thing is. It is, yeah. That's what we're going to
like
talk about in a second.
Food.
I don't look.
Can they make it high protein, low calorie?
They can. I don't look down on humans now, though, for what we're doing with the factory farming thing, because we'll look back at it as awful, and we'll wish it never happened, but we'll also look at it as a necessary stage to get humanity to where it is now or where it needs to be. Kind of like in the past, if you look at the agricultural revolution, if you look at the health of humans, when agriculture's invented farming, health declines immediately, dramatically. People get smaller, people's teeth fall out, everybody gets ill. That's how the plague gets invented. That's how all these smallpox.
I love how well
disease,
read you are, or listened. Well listened.
That's how as soon as we invent agriculture, everybody gets ill. Okay, everybody starts dying for thousands of years. But if we didn't have agriculture, we wouldn't have any of this. Where would we have got all this from? We wouldn't be able to support this many people. We'd have had to stay as nomads. Nomads can't build nice things because you have to keep moving, don't you? So you have to take all your stuff with you. So we had to settle. Those people in the past at the agricultural revolution, which they say 12,000 years ago, but it's probably way longer. They took it on the chin for us. Essentially, not that they knew it, because once it had become the agricultural revolution, then there's not really an option to go back. They didn't know they were doing that, but it's like a stage that we had to go through to get us to where we are now. And I think the animal thing is going to be the same thing. We're going to look back on it and think, we really wish that didn't happen. And we're getting past it now. So that's been a 20-minute explanation of the actual question, hasn't it? Which is pointless, I'm sorry. The question is, what do you think is the next thing? Because what's going to win is science. Science is going to win. Because right now, I was just going to ask your personal opinion on what do you think to the laboratory grown meats. So right now what they do is they'll get a little knife, this is true, and they'll go and they'll cut a little bit of a skin cell or something like that off one cow. So one cow has a tiny little cut, and then that's all the sacrifice all the cows have to make for the rest of humanity. They revert that skin cell into a stem cell, and then they grow that stem cell infinitely again on clone, and it makes steaks. And it actually it's never been a cow. Well, it has been a cow technically, I suppose, one cell, but it's never been inside a cow. No animals were harmed in the making of this steak. It's never been inside an animal.
They're not making a cow, they're making the steak.
They're making just steaks separately, and they can alter the nutrition inside it, which is like what you said. They've made them that are lower calories, and they've got omega-3s in the steak.
B12.
So they're making it healthier as well. So what would be your opinion on that? Because you don't mind the taste of meat, you don't mind the texture, you just don't want to eat the animal. What if somebody gives you a steak that's never been an animal? It's never even been near an animal.
I think I'd be totally cool with that.
Would you?
I think so.
Because
like, if you take what's seitan? Seitan is gluten.
It sounds awful that it's called Satan.
It does. Seitan. I don't even know if I pronounce it right.
Yeah, that is how you pronounce it. You're right. It's Seitan.
I don't even.
Some people say sation.
I genuinely don't really know what it is.
It's gluten.
But I'm still willing to eat it because it's not an animal. So I guess my moral stance will be, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So the way
so the cow that they took the little thing, they didn't kill it to do that.
No, they didn't know, and that one cow's one cut will be the sacrifice that saves all of humanity, essentially.
And I'm okay. I'd like all humanity to be saved.
Then Hindus will really love cows then. Then they'll really love it. If one cow saves all humanity with one skin cell, and they will, that'll be the Jesus of all cows, and then we'll all bow down. But that's what will happen. It's kind of already space food. You think what a ready meal is? It looks like Star Trek level stuff, doesn't it? You just put it into this box on the wall and it just comes out as a meal. It's like, what? Isn't it? It's already the future. Like, what's that on your arm there? That's a Fitbit, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a Star Trek like body scanner. Like it knows what you're doing, where you are, what your heart rate's like. Some of them, like Mark Jepson, who you said, who came to the meeting, he's got a ring.
Fancy ring.
Fancy, I know. He's got a ring, and it tracks. It's a ring, and it tracks his sleep, it tracks his heart rate, it tracks his body temperature.
It's pretty cool.
I know. It's Star
And expensive.
Trek. It's Star Trek level stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even when they were filming Star Trek, you know the sliding doors. They didn't have sliding doors. They had someone sat behind it who went shh and pulled it manually with their hands and made that noise. I'm not even kidding. And now we've got actual sliding doors. Now
Someone thought that's a genius idea.
Now you just walk up to a door and it goes shh, and then you check your scanner. Oh yeah, my health's on point, don't you? And then you put your little magical meal into the box on the wall, and then it comes out warm. It's the future already. So I think factory farming is going to go downhill very soon, very quickly, because it is awful. And now there are getting to be more options. People are moving more towards plant-based types of stuff. Nobody agrees it's a good idea, factory farming, unless you're just an awful person. Nobody agrees that it's a good idea.
I think
Most people just
if they think it's a good idea, they don't actually know what it is. They've kind of gone, yeah, it's fine. You're like, do you actually know?
Or you've got questionable morals. Because if you do know and you still don't care.
I don't think that it's questionable morals. I think they genuinely do know. Ostrich syndrome. No one's ever shown them a video of what it is. They've never Googled it, because I just don't believe there are people that are that cruel. I refuse to believe in my positive world there are people that are that cruel that think that that's acceptable.
Well, what about me though? Because I've seen the videos and I still eat meat.
Yeah, but you don't think it's
I don't think it's
right.
Okay. No, I think I'm selfish for doing it.
Yeah.
I think I care about myself more than I care about animals' lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. It's true. But I don't make myself feel bad about it, because I do everything else I can in the world to be a good person. I walked here, I didn't have to. I'm walking back, I didn't have to. It takes like 50 minutes each way. Could have driven, don't. So what's better or worse then? If you drive to order vegan, but I walk to order non-vegan, now what? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
It is. It's all about balance. But my point is that you still don't think that factory farming is okay.
No, I think it's awful.
So I just don't believe that people think about it. Like I walked around with these blinkers on and just eating meat without thinking about it. It doesn't, other than kind of having a chicken on a Sunday, and when it has like the little bits of feathers and stuff, and you're like, whoa, that's gross, because your brain actually remembers what it is for a second, but actually in the main I would be eating like chicken breast, so it doesn't really resemble it, and you're just wandering around not thinking about it. And as soon as somebody opens your eyes, and you can't, that disconnect, I can't get it back.
That's the word I was going to use.
You can't get it back. I'm fully connected now, so I'm like, I don't want to cook you a full chicken.
What about farm to table restaurants? What do you think about that? Where you can literally go and pick the animal. This is mostly in America, not really in England, and you can pick the animal.
But it's like that Willow Farm. You can't pick the animal.
What's that? Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Willow Farm in Sheffield.
I think I've heard of it.
They're cafe, and they have a little butchers on site.
Yeah.
They're like, it's our meat's measured in meters, not miles. And you can go and have a tour of all the cute little animals and take your kids around and educate them about where meat comes from, and then sit down and have a fry up. Yeah. And you're like, but that's not factory farm. They're kept in a beautiful. Yeah, they're kept in a beautiful.
So that's better, isn't it?
Environment. And but it still like freaks me out, the thought that I just don't want to think about it anymore. I understand.
Well, I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No,
we came here to talk about your weight loss journey.
Let's talk about weight loss.
We've spoken about death. We have instead, haven't we?
It's interesting.
Yeah, because there aren't many vegetarians or vegans that are as knowledgeable as you, but also as level-headed and straight-thinking as you. Most people can go a bit too deep on it, and it becomes a bit cult-like sometimes, and then they start looking down on other people for their decisions.
Yeah.
which is not a good thing to do, is it? Just like, I don't care who you are or what you believe, you shouldn't stand in the centre of anywhere with any megaphone shouting anything.
No,
you don't,
the cube.
No.
I'm not keen on the activists. I think, do you know what? I think vegans
It makes them look bad.
It does,
It's not
because
helping.
people associate veganism with people
With
who do that.
extremism, yeah.
And actually that's like a small pocket
Yeah.
of actual people who are vegans.
Yeah.
And vegans are, do you know what? I'm not killing the animals, I'm making all these really good choices. Everything's about there's like a bit of a range, bit of a grey area about, you know, will you wear wool? Will you not wear wool? Do you have a leather bag?
Do you know a bit
Have
do
you
you know this
got
about
leather
palm oil?
shoes? Yeah.
What's this about palm oil?
Well, there's sustainable palm oil and not sustainable. This is not an area again, this is where it's a minefield. There's so many different things, and you go in all these groups, and like all of a sudden you're going, all right, so I'm not allowed to have that. So
What they're saying
I
about
don't really
non-sustainable palm oil?
I don't really.
I don't know either.
I don't understand it.
I bet if
I just know it's apparently bad, but I don't know what it is.
Do you know, I bet if we looked into it, it's no different than any other oil. What are they doing to palms that they're not doing to olives? Let's be real. Honestly, what's going to be the difference?
I don't know,
What
but
about
palm oil
soybean
is
Is that fine?
in a lot of products.
Yeah.
And nowadays it says sustainable, but what does that mean? They plant another one every time, they take
What
one
does
away.
that mean? That's
I
like
don't
when you
know.
put free range on eggs in England, they're lying. It's not free range, they're lying.
And a picture of a like hen that's
They write happy
pecking around.
They just write happy eggs on the front of it. It's not
Marketer's dream.
It's
Marketer's dream.
It's just not real.
Don't even get me started on the day when I asked Anthony the question, like, Anthony, where are all the boy chickens? That you go to a farm, I've got this idyllic world, a boy chicken's a cockerel, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know on what planet I was on where I just thought both boys and girls chickens were laying eggs. Seriously, what planet was I on? I just didn't think about it. And then when you find the truth out, please Google it, you'll not be happy, because it's sad. It's just heartbreaking. They don't lay eggs. Like, the boys of this world. Not required in the chicken area.
Yeah.
But they don't even, if they use them for their meat, you know, you'd imagine that boy chickens are there for your roasted up, but they're not even there for that. They don't grow big enough, they don't make them enough money.
No.
So they don't need them. Weird.
Humanity's moving forward for sure in terms of moral value. There's probably never been a better time in history than this. Do you know this guy called Steven Pinker?
No.
He's a famous author. He talks about the enlightenment of society as to where we're moving forward, because you're saying we get rid of like boy chickens and like they're just killed
Surplus
instantly.
to
basically.
required.
Yeah, they're just not necessary to life. Well, we used to get rid of excess humans, didn't we? You used to have children that you didn't like if, and just like not in the past, and then they'd just get rid of them, wouldn't they? Like women wouldn't. Some female children in some societies used to be not valued as much as male children, so then they'd just get killed off, didn't they?
Sure.
But now we're moving forward and we're getting past it and advancing, which is very nice.
So anyway, should we talk diet? Boy chickens.
I think. Do you know what time we start?
No.
Do you know what I think we should do?
Yes. To part 2.
We're going to do part 2. I'm going to say thank you for vegetarianism and veganism, part 1. Thank you for coming down. I think we've been talking for maybe like 40 minutes or something like that. And then we'll do part 2. What do you think?
Sounds like.
All right. Thank you for coming down. Thank you for watching, everyone.